You guys remember that thing, right? Well, just because I have it out here indicates that it must be time to start giving it some thought. Yeah, I'm gonna take it off this display frame and kind of size it up in the bike there and see what it's gonna take to make it work. There's a different shot of it for you, just in case you don't remember. Anyway, I'm gonna take it out of there. So, just to give you a visual, this is why I built that frame that long. This is going to have to sit in here something like this. And it pretty much eats up all the real estate. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is take a piece of that 1/8" steel that I've been working with on everything and cut it to fit right inside the frame here and cover up this whole area. However, I don't want to weld it in. I'm going to make tabs so I can bolt it in. That way if I need to remove it and re-drill holes or something, I can do it without trying to hold a drill motor in here and do it. I can pull the plate out, take it to the drill press, drill the holes, reinstall it in case I ever need to move anything. I was actually visualizing having a lot more room left over when I was done, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot. So anyway, I'm just kind of getting some food for thought right now. And yeah, so you know how it is. I'll show you more as it progresses. Well, I've drawn out my little plate. I used a template out of this craft paper, and I held it up under the frame, or on top of the frame, and took a marker, went up under the frame and drew all around it. And when I cut it out and held it up on there, it was way too little on all sides. I guess the angle of the pin that I held it at. So I ended up having to measure it and transfer the measurements onto this and redraw it. So, good to double check your work. Also, before we get cutting on that, I got some new cutting blades. Here's what they actually look like. Skill brand. I got them at the Walmart. They're 1/16 thick with a 7/8 arbor, 13,200 RPM minimum, it says. Huh. Anyway, it's for metal and plastic and stuff. Here's the package. I think they were $3 a piece. Normally, I've been getting these, which you can't see. There's not much left of them, but I get these for like $1.50 over at the Tractor Supply, or it's Orscheln's. I always want to say Tractor Supply, but it's Orscheln's Home Center, and they work good. I just was on that side of town, so I picked up a couple of these and I thought I'd give them a try. They're actually the same thickness, and I do like the thinner ones because they do work better. But I'm going to cut that out. And then of course I got to clean it up and drill holes in it and stuff. And of course it's going to have to support this big old rascal, which pretty much eats up all the space there is there. I got some more work I'm going to do to this too, and I'll show you that when I get that far. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. This hole where I don't know if you can see what I'm trying to show you. There's a hole there where the rope goes through it. I've got a bronze bushing, so I'm going to drill that out a little bit bigger and put that bronze bushing through there. That will alleviate my worries about there being any sharp edges and cutting into that cord for the pull start. And then I also got to see if I can't, either this pulley is going to have to hang out over the frame toward the outside of the frame, or I'm going to have to jack this up somehow, because right now the pulley is bigger than the base as far as clearance underneath. See what I mean? It actually hangs down below the plate there that it's sitting on. So it's either going to have to hang off of the frame, which I really don't want it doing that. I'd rather it be back inside the frame, which means I'll have to do something to it. Anyway, we'll look at that later. I got other things to do right now. Wow, guys, I got to show you this. I made one cut from here to here with that new blade. And look at it. It's almost done. I'll not be buying any more of those. They don't hold up worth a dang. I'll bet I can't get this other cut out of it before I have to put on another new one. So, I'm not liking that. Not for the extra money. I figured, oh, it's easy and convenient. The quality's just not there. Skill saw, cutting blades, I already don't recommend them. I got my base plate cut out, cleaned up, and went ahead and sprayed it with a clear coat of that stuff just to keep it from starting to rust. And I took the Kickstarter assembly and I drilled the hole big enough to accept that little bushing I was telling you about. Which of course it's not going to stay in there by itself. I just wanted to show you that, yeah, I got it where to go in there. And it's just barely sticking out on the inside because I didn't want it to catch that rope as it came around. But what I had to do is shave it with the flap wheel. And I just shaved it down. And then I countersunk the inside of it so there's no burrs. And that will give me peace of mind knowing that any sharp edges in this hole is not going to be cutting into my rope. It's almost like there's nothing left of that, but there's just enough there to keep that rope from getting chafed. And the Kickstarter assembly itself is looking good. So the next step I have to do is I'm going to use some of this angle iron. I'll drill the appropriate holes in it, cut it off, clean it up, and weld them into the frame to support that plate. And then I'll take the plate out and figure out where all the holes need to be for the Kickstarter assembly. Drill them and put them in place. And then we can mount that rascal. Yeah, that'll be good. I doubt I get all that done this evening. I may have done more today than I should have. I'm supposed to be not doing anything. Anyway, that's it for now. And I'll show you more as we go along. So I got my little angle brackets made. These 5 are for the bottom plate. And these 2 are going to go on the side of the Kickstarter assembly, because the way I built it, the mounting holes are inside that rectangular tubing, and you can't actually get a wrench in there. The only thing you can get in there is an Allen wrench, and it's just too labor intensive to try to bolt it and unbolt it. So I'm going to weld these to the outside of it, on each side of it, and that way I can get a regular nut and bolt on there and reach it with a wrench and won't have to fight it. So yeah, that's good for now. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to hold those in place properly while I weld them, and how I line up the holes with the plate and that kind of stuff. I think I may have overdone it already today. So I believe I'm going to knock off for now and call it a day and get back out here maybe tomorrow if I feel good. Alright, so you'll see more in a little bit. Alright, there's that plate inside the frame there. It's just sitting there by pure fitment. I haven't welded anything yet. I do have the angle brackets bolted to it. And that's what's holding it in place. I gotta go around and weld it, and then we can move forward. Just wanted to show you what it looks like before it gets all uglied up with weld splatter and crap. Well, I welded the angle brackets on there like I was telling you I might do, and raised it up a ½ inch. And that way, with it sitting on that plate, this pulley will clear the frame and everything. So there'll be no worries there about it dragging ground or getting hit on a rock or something like that. I mean, it could happen, but I have to be getting pretty crazy. You know what I mean? And that'll help me in positioning it too, because then I can have a lot more. I'm not restricted by it having to hang off the frame. I can move it back in if I want. Anyway, I'm going to let it cool down, and then put it in there and mark my holes. Got that rascal welded in there, and it's tacked. You know, there's a lot of things on this bike that when I break it down for paint, I'm going to have to go over and finish weld, because I only have them tacked. They're strong tacks, enough that I'm not afraid to ride it, but I don't want to leave it like that, you know, before I put paint on it. I got to go through and thoroughly weld this stuff up. Well, everybody, it's taken to storming. There was violent winds. Not really violent, but rough. And started raining. The winds, I had the master link and chain assembly off the Kickstarter apart, laying on a piece of cardboard on the table, and of course, you know, the wind caught that and flipped it and threw all those little bits all over the place. I've recovered 2 out of 3 of the master link parts. I have the chain, but I still got to find that one little piece. And these are number 25 chains, so they're tiny. Let me see if I can show you on the end of my finger. That's the master link keeper. This is the master link itself. And I'm missing the other part that goes over this end. The little flat part with 2 holes in it. And it's out there laying on that concrete, most likely somewhere. I just haven't spotted it yet. But let me pause for a second and turn around here and show you what this thing looks like as best I can in this cramped space. There it is in the bike, all bolted down. I just got to hook the pull cord to it and put the chain on it. It'll be good to go. Let me get in here so you can see how I did that. It don't look bad, huh? It don't look bad. It don't look bad. Anyway, it's a bad angle, I know. Alright, so now of course it looks like it's not going to rain for a minute. And I don't know, I got to keep looking for that part so I can finish this up. I think I may have another one in there, but I hate to start doing that, you know. Because once I do that, I'll forget to look for it. I'll give it the old college try, as they say, try to find it. It's got to be laying out there somewhere. I mean, the table's way over here. I found one of the parts way over there by that grass line in the concrete. So that was the heavier of the 3 pieces that I found way over there. So there's no telling where that little bitty piece went flying. It may be over there in the yard, in which case I'll never find it. Need one of them big long magnets on a stick. But then all I'll do is pick up shavings and grindings. Ugh. Those things tear me up. Alright, anyway, I'll quit babbling and start looking. Well, there she is, boys, all installed. So, I did not find that link. I ended up using the other one that I had in the garage. But we're going to give her a go. Oh, I got her turned off. And yeah, I don't have the throttle fixed. I hooked it up to the brake lever. I think I remember it right. It wants to run at half choke. Well, what the heck? Not working with a dang, it's chewing the heck out of my rope already. I'm gonna have to rethink it. Give it some fine tuning, like everything else. But yeah, it's chewing my rope up. I didn't think that would happen, but it is. I think it's slipping a gear too on the chain drive part of it. I may have to disassemble that, take one link out and put in a half link to get the slack out of it, because that thunk you're hearing is it slipping a tooth on that chain drive. I don't remember ever having that problem before, but I have heated it up and welded on it and stuff like that too. Anyway, I'm gonna give it some fine tuning. We'll get her dialed in. It'll be all right. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. It's installed. It will work. We know it works because I did it before, and you just saw it work. But it's got some bugs, like everything else. You gotta get the bugs out. So I'll be working with that. That's gonna be it for this video. And stay tuned, there's more to come. We got a lot to do on this thing yet, and you know it, but it's gonna be slick when it all gets the bugs out and all the things that need done. Alright, so you guys be good, take care, and let me know what you think, give me some ideas. Like always, you know, go get some t-shirts and stickers, and most of all, just keep coming back. I love it when you come by. We'll see y'all. Take care. Oh, shit. Hang with it, damn. Well, there's not one thing, it's something else. Did you see that? That little fancy thing I did on the frame where I bolt the seat broke. Son of a... It's always something, man. It's always something.